Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And today, fans, we're talking about that long-awaited issue number 1 of Secret Wars. That's right, guys. Really excited about this series. This is number 1 of 8. It's been talked about for months and months and months, and it's finally arrived. Now, for new readers, this issue, if you want to have an idea of what's going on, of what led up into this, you can actually go out and get that free Comic Book Day issue. You can maybe order it possibly online from Midtown, or you can get this prelude to the Secret Wars, which is this trade that just recently came out as well, that was introduced in the beginning of this. So basically what's led up to this is, in the Avengers, there's been all these incursions that have happening. And if you're not familiar with an incursion, it's basically all these worlds coming together. So let me give you a physical example, okay? You got all these alternate universes coming together and they're exploding. So now it's down to Earth 616 and the Ultimate Universe. And what's going to happen is they're drawing closer and closer and closer together, okay? And so they're going to get closer until they get so close, they wind up just going, and that is it. And that is the end of Earth 616 and Earth 1610, which is the Ultimate Universe. And when they explode, nothing will be left. Now I have chocolate chip cookies all over my computer. So with that being said, and you got your explanation of what's going on with these incursions, let's get with the review. Alright, first thing is this book is written by Jonathan Hickman. That's right, guys. He's done the entire Avengers run. He's led us into this story, and now we have finally arrived. And the artwork in this issue is done by Azad Ribic, and the cover was done by Alex Ross, so really cool cover here. The artwork is definitely to be desired. I like the artwork in here. You can feel that the end of the world is coming. Lots of facial expressions in here. At times, maybe some of the characters' drawings might be a little bit inconsistent from what I'm used to. I was a little bit weirded out by She-Hulk's expression there, and Hulk a little bit. He looks a little bit off for me. But that's just minor nitpicking. Overall, I thought that the artwork was great. There's some really excellent battle scenes that go on in this issue that you can see here on this page. We wind up seeing Cyclops here going through a transformation or whatnot. And again, I'll tell you what the story is about. There will be spoilers, so if you guys haven't read it yet, you might want to read it first. And then we wind up seeing a really cool page here, which I thought was really well done when it comes to, which is this raft, as the heroes from 616 call it. So you wind up getting to see that. And yeah, so some awesome stuff in here that happens. There's a cool facial expressions from Reed. So yeah, so this was good artistically. It was solid. Maybe not always my favorite type of artwork, but everyone has their own preferences, and definitely I liked what was going on here. So what was this story about? Was it worth the read? Was it worth the hype? Let me just tell you that for me, this was worth the hype. I thought that, if you introduce Convergence and you introduce this, I really like this first issue. It really sets the tone of what's happening, what's been building, and it's finally happened. The book introduces Dr.Doom in here, and he makes a theory of what's going on, about how the brain reacts when you're dying, but he believes that obviously that's not true. You actually see God. So it was a cool introduction in here. And throughout this issue, you wind up seeing the Reed Richards of of the Ultimate Universe, which is also known as the Maker, going against the Reed Richards of 616 Universe on the survival tactics on how to continue their race and things like that. So throughout this issue, you wind up getting to see what happens. You wind up seeing battles going on between the Ultimate Universe and again in 616, the battle for survival. Throughout this issue, you wind up getting to see mass casualties throughout here. We wind up getting to see Sentinels reappear in here. You wind up getting to see Cyclops appear with the Phoenix egg. But again, there's a lot of things that happen throughout this issue that makes you wonder, like, what's going to happen to these heroes in the future. We actually have, which was a really cool scene in here with the Kingpin and all his people gathered together of an end of the world party, and then the Punisher comes in here one last time, and he sits there and he clicks his gun and he says, well, what am I going to do with all these bullets at the end of the world? We get to see Black Widow and a team trying to gather survivors to continue the human race, but their ship winds up getting blown up, and Sue's just like, no, she's like, oh my god, what's happening? I can't believe this is actually happening. It was like a realization to them that this is it. Like, the world is possibly finally coming to an end. And then what happens is, when the worlds are about to collide, we get to see this spaceship that Reed has developed, which is called the Raft, and it winds up launching from the Baxter building, and there's basically no choice but to leave all other people behind, and you have a handful of people that are survivors, and they try to fight off the incursion from what's actually happening here between the two universes just about to collide. And by the time you wind up getting to the end of this issue, we wind up seeing an unfortunate death that happens here, where you're just like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. And let me just say is why there was such a happy ending in the Fantastic Four issue. Now you know why, because something very bad happens to Sue in the end of this issue. But then at the very end, you wind up seeing the two worlds actually finally colliding and blowing up at the end. And the last thing you wind up seeing is just this black and white picture of Dr. Doom's mask. And it was really awesome. And then in this last page, you wind up seeing the Marvel Universe 1961 through 2015, and then the Ultimate Universe 2000 to 2015. And then you just get the picture of the Raft at the end on just some rock, which you would assume is now Battle World, which is this right here. That's right, Battle World. Now, I will be covering majority of these titles, whether it's on my channel, Comic Book Corner 2.0, or Comic Frontline. What did I think about this issue in this first installment? I thought this was really well done. My only gripe about it is Hickman at times tends to he makes things so technical that you have to like go back and reread things, and you're making sure that you understand all the ins and outs of the issue just so you catch everything, because you never know when he's going to reference something down the line. That's always my issue with Hickman. There's a lot of things that are involved with this, a lot of reading, but it's a great story. I really enjoyed it. The deaths that compiled here, you just could not believe it. Again, if they stick or not, I don't know, but there was lots of casualties on both sides in the end, and you can actually feel the ultimate destruction and chaos that happened here. And when you finally get the incursion between the two worlds that happened, you're just like, it's finally happened, because it's been building and building and building, and now this is the point that we have all been waiting for. And now Secret Wars has truly arrived, and we're going to get issue number 2 next week, and then we're going to start seeing all the tie-in books to see how the Marvel Universe is changing throughout these worlds that have collided. I thought this book was, again, very intense, very suspenseful. Loved the action that was here. Couldn't believe the deaths that happened. felt for Reed Richards in the end of this issue, and I really enjoyed this book. So I'm going to give this one a 4.75 out of 5 stars. Guys, leave me your comments below on what you thought of Secret Wars issue number 1. And fans, as always, don't forget to check out my other reviews over on Comic Frontline. And until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spiderslayer signing off, and thanks for watching. #Cookie Incursion. Take care, fans. Bye.